Do unlikable characters hurt environmental horror connection? Imagine watching a movie where the humans are so unlikable that you just can't care about what happens to them. Now, think about how that affects the story's message about nature and the environment. In environmental horror movies, the characters often show how human actions harm the earth. When characters are selfish or cruel toward nature, it can make the story stronger because it highlights human responsibility. These characters often pollute, destroy habitats, or disrespect natural forces, which provokes nature's revenge. Their unlikability can make the audience see them as symbols of human neglect, making the environmental message clearer and more powerful. But if the characters are so unlikable that viewers stop caring about them, the tension and emotional pull can fade away. Without some interest or empathy for the characters, the horror scenes might not feel as intense. For example, if characters are portrayed as completely selfish or destructive without any redeeming qualities, viewers might focus only on their flaws instead of the environmental themes. This can weaken the overall connection between the horror and the ecological message. The key is balance. Characters should have flaws that reflected real-world environmental issues like pollution or deforestation, but they also need enough complexity to keep viewers engaged. When characters are flawed but relatable, they personify human mistakes that lead to environmental harm. This makes the audience more invested in the story and the message. When done well, unlikable characters can actually strengthen the environmental horror theme by showing the consequences of human actions. When not handled carefully, they risk alienating viewers and reducing the story's impact. In practical terms, filmmakers can create characters whose flaws mirror real environmental problems. Showing moments of vulnerability or moral conflict can keep the audience interested. Using nature as a character that gains sympathy can also help, especially when the human characters are unlikable. The story should focus on the conflict between humans and nature, making the horror feel natural and justified. So, do unlikable characters hurt the connection to environmental horror? Not necessarily. They can actually reinforce it by embodying human failings and justifying nature's revenge. The trick is to keep viewers emotionally involved enough to care about what happens, even if the characters are flawed. When used thoughtfully, unlikable characters can make the environmental message hit home even harder.